board. So this is the new Ambassador Training 101 Series Week 3 about sharing Plexus and like where to find your resources. And so I just want to kind of start out that everyone, when they first start out with Plexus or even seasoned ambassadors, I know that Teresa and I were talking ahead of time, and a lot of us might get in a little rut about not getting that engagement that you want on your Plexus post, or you used to get engagement and now you don't. So we're going to kind of go over a little bit about some things that might be able to help you. And I'm going to give you some personal things as well throughout here when I think it's a good time to talk to you about it, about when a good time is to post. And this is based on my experience and some other, the other things that I have learned as I've been in Plexus for the last 2 years. But again, my name is Kimberly Rose, and I'm the Senior Gold Ambassador and qualification for Diamond, just so that y'all know. So today we're going to talk about sharing Plexus and social media, how to post smart and strategically, and the resources like the Learning Center, YouTube channels, the opportunity calls. There's even Plexus Power Tools. So we're just going to kind of go over that. So the first things first, okay, there. Network marketing should be really be called like relationship marketing. I mean, when you are reaching out to other people, it is really building that relationship. So I know for me personally, we know that we need to nurture that relationship and send messages that really are important. And I don't know who all follows me in particularly or in my groups and stuff, but there is a really, really good post that I encourage everyone. I think it's in Show Me Plexus. I'm not quite sure if it's in Pink Dream Team, but if not, I can post it in there. But it's a really good post that was just recently posted about how to build that relationship with that individual. So if you have a college friend and they, or a longtime friend, and you don't want to just immediately start messaging them and say, hey, have you ever heard of Plexus? Do you want to try it? No, we need to nurture that relationship, especially friendships that we've had for a very, very long time. And I'm guilty of it myself. When I first started Plexus, I made my little list like I was supposed to, and I contacted everyone. I'm like, listen, you need to try this stuff. It works. So do you want my website? That's how I was doing it. But a lot of times we need to really kind of nurture that, be genuine from the heart. And if you start out, and it's a fine line. You gotta be really nurturing to it, because you can't just say, if I was calling up Leisha and I hadn't talked to her for a really long time, but I knew that we were friends, years ago, and I just can't go, hey, Leisha, your kids are growing up so much. Gosh, it's been a long time. So have you ever heard about Plexus? No, that does not sound sincere. That sounds like a sales ploy. So, you need to build that relationship. Hey, Leisha, Avila is growing up so big. What's been going on with you lately? Build that relationship. Open the door to where you want to go. Now, if you can say, oh my gosh, that's fantastic. The kids are growing up, so is what grade is Landon in now? And, just build that relationship. And eventually, Leisha's going to probably come back and ask me, Kim, what have you been doing lately? And that is an open door for you to say, hey, you know what? I stumbled across this amazing company that have these amazing products that, oh my gosh, Leisha, they transformed my life. I'm not even on blood pressure medicine anymore. And you can continue forward in that aspect. And it's hard. Sometimes, you might message someone and not feel that comfort. So in the video that I was telling you about earlier, or the post, the lady gives you some great examples, and also the post gives you some great examples on how to start that relationship building up and how to nurture it. You don't want to sound salesy. You don't want to sound pushy. And even when you share with strangers, you don't want to, you want to sound genuine. You don't want to sound, hey, I'm out for $1, Because I know for me, when I'm out sharing Plexus in public, especially during the holidays and at Christmas time, I always give one, single samples. And so I always, and I might say, hear somebody say, gosh, my back is really hurting, or, they say, oh, I see somebody rubbing their head. And I will never forget one time I was at Kohl's, and these people were kind of talking, and they were doing something, and they were referring to something hurting in their body or whatever. And I said, I don't mean to pry. And I said, you know what? You've got some really, really cute kids. And I said, you know what? I feel like this, I stumbled across something that's been a huge blessing to me. And I just want to say happy holidays. And, here's a sample. And it was genuine. It was sincere. It was a perfect stranger, but I wasn't saying, hey, do you want my website? I just simply handed them a sample. I said, you know what? It's a great product. It's all natural plant. And I gave them like a 15-second spiel. That's it. Told them that was plant-based, so on and so forth. But it wasn't pushy. And I said, you know what? Thank you and have a great day. And they're like, thank you so much and stuff. So it does. The more that you are genuine to someone, the more it's going to be beneficial to you in the long run. You can it refers here to like chapter 6 in your success guide about conversation starters. And that's also in this post that I'll share with you guys. If you're not part of Show Me Plexus, we can, share with conversation starters. So it's really, really good. And another thing that I would like to recommend also is you can always do a 3-way call. So if you have somebody, now I use Leisha as an example, because there are many times that I have gotten moms. Well, I'm not a mom, so I can't have that relationship and really connect with the people that I want to. I know the products work. I know what that compensation plan is. But Leisha can speak from a mom standpoint. And she's my upline. So I use that as a tool to kind of open that up. And sometimes I'll be like, you know what, Sarah, I'm just going to be blatantly honest with you. I love your personality, and I think you would be amazing on my team. But you know what? Just so that you know that Plexus is all about helping other people, and you can really fit in your nooks and crannies. Do you have time by any chance to talk for like 10 or 15 minutes with a really good friend of mine? She's got 7 kids, and I really think that you guys would really connect. And she's been in the business now for a very, very long time. And I just, it would make me feel better. Would you be okay with that? And 9 times out of 10, that always opens the door. They're like, sure, because it's no pressure. It's not a pressure to say, I asked them for permission. I said, do you have time? And somebody might come back and say, you know what, Kim? No, I don't. Okay, well, that's fantastic. You know what? And you can just move on about your day. But this is what I kind of recommend. So social media, there's many different power tools you can use. There's Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, YouTube. People are now even using Snapchat, believe it or not, to build your business. That's not on here, but Snapchat is also on there. So, but we're going to, we focus a lot on Facebook, but just remember that you can use that. Now, I recently just started using Instagram. And Rachel Rogers, just if you guys are taking notes, Rachel Rogers has a really good post that's posted in our team rooms about how to post correctly on Instagram. And it is phenomenal. And I encourage everyone to really reach out there and, get a hold of that training. She's on YouTube as well. And I think it's called Instagram Posting Correctly or something like that by Rachel Rogers. Great video to watch and very informative. And I've actually started doing my Instagram such as that, as she mentions. So another thing that we want to talk about is being consistent. We want to make sure that we are consistent on Facebook. I will freely admit I'm a Facebook stalker, so I will constantly kind of look at my team. I will constantly look at other people's teams to find out, if I haven't seen somebody's post in a long time, I'm going to go look at their Facebook and I'm going to look, because I try to think of it as if, and I'm going to use some like techie terms, kind of, I'm going to look at it as if I'm an end user, or I'm going to look at it as if I were a customer. Jennifer was really posting about Plexus not too long ago, and now she's not posting anything. I haven't seen her post anything for a few days. I bet you Jennifer quit Plexus. I bet that stuff didn't really work. So that is essential that you be consistent. People are watching expectations versus reality. It is proven that usually it takes about 12 times to reach out to somebody before somebody will actually commit to doing something. That's a lot of reaching out. If you're not being consistent, people are going to automatically assume that you've already quit. People, unfortunately, if you're new to Plexus, they're going to expect you to quit. They're going to expect the products to fail because that's what we're taught in growing up. I mean, it's prime. But I will tell you this, people are definitely watching. An example of this that just happened to me last Friday, actually. I just got home from work, and I still work at a JOB, but I fit Plexus in my nooks and crannies. But I just got home from work, and my phone rang, and I'm like, who's calling me? Because my phone never rings. We do, the instant message, we text, we rarely call. So I was like, oh my gosh, something must be wrong with my mom, or, and I looked down, and it was this number. I'm like, what is going on? Well, this girl had called me, and she's like, Kim, she goes, I know the last time I keep telling you that I'm going to try Plexus, and I never do. Well, that was like a long, long time ago. I stopped. I just continued to follow up with her, but I wasn't going to play the game. But I would follow up with her every week and with a different message, and she would never respond. She's never liked any of my comments or my posts. She's never liked anything. She's never commented to me back, except at the very, very beginning. We went back and forth for 2 days. And we're talking like back at the beginning of the year. So it's been all these months. She called me on Friday and says, Kim, I know I'm ready. And she says, I've been watching every single post, but she goes, I did not want to comment or like on anything because I did not want you to know, because I thought I was going to get harassed. Plexus doesn't want to harass anyone. But we still need to be consistent. So my posting and my being consistent really helped. And she reached out and she ordered a triplex combo. So people, you just gotta be consistent. That's all I can say. And I try to tell my team to be consistent all the time. Always be positive. Facebook, unfortunately, yes, it's your personal page. Yes, people build their business pages. Yes, they might have like a customer group where they post everything and it's like a funnel for their customers or potential customers. That's great. But leave the drama off Facebook. Call your best friend and talk about the drama, but don't put it on Facebook. And here's why, guys. And it's not to be, trying to sound like, scolding you or anything like that, but be positive. Be proud that you are part of a company that is literally changing lives of others. I mean, it's incredible, to be quite honest. Be excited about the opportunity. Be excited that, hey, be confident and be, all I keep saying is being excited, because the more excitement that you show, the more positivity that you show, the more interaction you're going to get. If you see somebody posting something negative on Facebook, in my world, it's delete as a friend or unfollow or block. Those are the things, because I don't have time for negativity. Negativity breeds negativity. Positivity breeds positivity. I can't talk today. So it's very, very essential, because if you got to think of it this way, if you kept seeing somebody post something negative and all this drama that's going on with, what went down at the park last week or whatever it may be, that kind of drains you. Would you want to order from somebody like that, or would you think that would be professional? Look at it this way. You and your Facebook page is your brand. Kind of look at it that way. You are the face of your business. Okay, so that's just like if you were marketing on your storefront that had 4 walls, you are marketing. You're not going to post on your windows at your store, at a physical store, hey, so-and-so did this at the park last week. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to keep it professional and you're going to keep it positive because you want to draw those people in. I'm telling you, the more positive you are, the more people you will attract. Personal page is a business page. That's kind of like what we talked about a second ago. Applicable team pages and groups as well. Always be positive. You know, one of the biggest things that I try to implement, and I try to do, and I'm not perfect. I can't do it to everybody's posts. But if you are in team pages or group pages, if somebody welcomes somebody or says, hey, you know, congratulations, so-and-so got their first customer, you know, make sure that you're positive to them, because that positivity and that leadership is that's going to bleed into them, and therefore that's going to bleed into their team. And you never know. You got to think about when you first started Plexus, wouldn't you like to be welcomed and stuff, and just make sure it's always positive. If you have a problem, face it. Don't Facebook it. That's one of the wonderful things about, and don't post it on Facebook because it's crazy. Okay, so in engaging, I love this, okay? So it is, okay, so Facebook works on an algorithm, and it takes 3 comments to make sure that your post is going to start showing up in other people's news feeds or your friends' news feeds. And I don't know how many people knew that, but we've been kind of learning about it. I learned it about a year ago. So if you see me and another friend comment back and forth and stuff, instead of hitting reply under that comment, I'll make it a new comment, because I want to make sure that I say something I want to make sure that I say something so someone else would make sure that they comment back in response to what I said, so I can get 3 comments, because once you get 3 comments, it's starting to show up. So I don't know if anybody, and once you comment, your post goes back to the top of your news feed. That's the same as in groups. You might see some of us, like in the swap shops, you might see somebody's post, you know, pop up to the very top, and it's because somebody might have put a period. They're bumping it, what they call bumping it up to the top. Excuse me. Comments and equals engagement. The more people that are commenting back and forth, the more engagement you're going to get. Now, I will tell you this is a great time for me to kind of just plug in something. There are certain times during the day that are really, really good to post, and then there's some kind of days that sometimes during the day that it's not as good. Now, I recommend in the mornings, and this is pretty common across the board, 7 to 9 a.m. in the morning. People are getting to work or right before work. People are online. So that's a great time to post. And we're going to go through what to post and kind of how often to post. 11 to 1 is another great time. They're on lunch breaks, you know. So people are going to start looking at their Facebook. Everybody's got one of the smartphones. So everybody's going to be looking at Facebook. Oh my gosh, what's going on? 4 to 6, when people get off work, they're going to immediately go and get on Facebook. Usually about 5 to 7 or 6 to 8 is probably when people are going to eat dinner. So 8 to 10 is another great time, or 7, 7 to 9ish is another great time to post. So in the evenings, I find between 7:30 and 8 are like high traffic time to post. That and during the early mornings. That's usually when I can get the most engagement. And if you need engagement on your posts, feel free to reach out some of your sidelines and your team. Hey, do you mind commenting on this so I can make sure, hey, can you comment on this? I need some help getting some interaction going. There's nothing wrong with that. You're just trying to build your business. You can create a non-Plexus friends list. In Facebook, now I have not done this, but in Facebook, you can actually list your Plexus friends versus you have to sort them out. Plexus friends, non-Plexus friends. I have not done that yet, so I'm not a guru at it by any means, but I know several people have, and they said it's not too hard. It's just pretty time consuming at first. Non-Plexus call to action or comment. Call to action, there's a call to action button, I think, on Facebook. But you want to comment, like if I'm posting or commenting, this is the way that I take that. If I'm posting or commenting on somebody's post, and it might be one of my team members, I will make sure that I plug them about being a great testimony, but I will also plug, hey, what it's done for me. And that's kind of like a call to action, in my opinion. And because it's allowing people, not only is it bumping their post, but it's also showing interaction, and they're like, oh, so Kim's had this, and Jennifer's had this. Oh, well, this stuff must be real. So they're going to continue to follow you, or they might just like it this time to let you know they're kind of interested. But usually when people start commenting is when all kinds of action starts happening. It's awesome. So this is awesome. I love this. And we're going to see this ad in just a second again. But this is a great example of, Gab just informed me that this style of spring, what do you think? This is great. And this is another way that you can say a call to action post, kind of, or comment. Now, do you think that if you were into culottes, would you comment on that, whether you liked them or not liked them? Okay, so another example is several months ago, and you'll see me do this sometimes, and I'm letting my secret out. I posted a picture of a Nike shoe that had multicolors in it. I don't even wear Nike. And I posted it and says, you know, like or dislike. That's all I said in the post. Like or dislike. And I got like 80 some comments on that. Well, guess what? Now my posts, because you commented on my posts are now going to start showing up in your newsfeed. Pretty brilliant. So that's just kind of a thought. You'll see all kinds of creative things on Facebook. If you pay attention, it's great. Try to do like little one-liners. And I love it when people will say something about, it's a true fact about Plexus, and they'll go, drop mic. You know, and it kind of, you know, gets that interaction going. Kids, if you have kids, post about your kids. I love to post, instead of posting salesy stuff, like as soon as you start posting a picture of the actual Plexus Slim, or the, you know, you post a little picture, a graphic of the Plexus Edge. That to a consumer or somebody watching your feed is like sales, scroll, 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 scroll. They're not even going to pay attention. But if you took a picture of your pink drink and not even said a word and just said, who's had yours? Like I did mine the other day. I took a picture of my pink drink. I didn't say Plexus at all. And I just said, who's had their pink drink today? Whoop, say a whoop, whoop. And they did. I got like, I don't even know how many comments on it. And so it's really great. And you just got to be creative like that. The more creative and personal, and we're going to talk about being personal, the more personal that you are about your Plexus post, the more interaction that you're going to get. Use your kids, you know, have them hold their vitamins up if they take the vitamins, or if they take the pink drink, have them do it. If you're going out for a jog, you know, hold up the Plexus Edge and say, you know, thank goodness for the Plexus Edge energy. I just ran 2.5 miles. You know, get creative. You can do that. Don't always use graphics, because graphics look salesy. But I mean, I still want you to use graphics. Don't get me wrong. Okay, so your passion and your excitement. There's a balance. So I always say, make sure that you try to find that balance. If you're posting nonstop, like post after post after post after post, that's great. Don't get me wrong. That it's because you're passionate. I did the same thing when I first started, and sometimes I still get a little posty. But if you can kind of refrain from that and really think about your target times of when to post, that way your good posts that you're posting during those target times don't get buried. And if you're just constantly doing post after post after post, you know, I post in the morning a couple times. Between like 7 and 9, I might post 1 or 2 times. But then I might post once after that. And then during lunch, I might post 1 or 2 times. And I try to save my really, really good posts that I know that are, I think, brilliant. I will save those through the high traffic times. So just kind of keep your balance, because we love that you're passionate, but you don't want to go overboard and overkill. So connect to the heart, tell stories. I think is the saying, and I hope I don't say this wrong, facts tell, stories sell. Tell your testimony. I don't know how many times a day that I tell certain team members on my team, it's great. You're having such great stories. Tell your story. I don't care if it is, you know what? I got rid of a skin tag. Or, oh my gosh, I didn't have that 2 o'clock soda. Or, you know what? Usually I eat a bag of M&Ms today, or usually about this time I eat a bag of M&Ms, and I didn't have that today. The smallest thing to you is huge to somebody else that is silently screaming, is what I like to say. They are suffering. People are suffering. And a lot of people don't know other people are suffering because they are quiet about it. So connect to the heart. If you know someone personally that is suffering from some sort of autoimmune disorder, or something to the fact of, have to take insulin shots or something to that nature, and if you have a testimony, reach out to them, but make it heartfelt and say, you know what? I really just love you to death. And it really hurts me, and it struggles with me that I know that you're hurting. I know you're having, these issues, however you want to word it. I'm not really good at on the spot stuff. But just say, you know what? I'm just going to leave this here for you to kind of look. This is an article that I found about this. And I from my own experience, I have a really good friend. Their daughter has the same type of issues, and the Triplex Combo will really kind of help them. If you want to know more, please just message me. I just want to, if I can help in any way, please let me know. Something to that nature. So it's not saying, oh, why don't you go to my website and order right now? But it's saying, hey, I really care about you, and I have some friends that it's helped. Maybe this will help you, if that makes sense. We just talked about ad-like posts. This is awesome. So she is I think an Emerald Ambassador, and she just kind of posted this. My mom had bought these jeans a few years back, and I thought, honestly, Mother, there will never be a time for me to get in these. Yet I kept them because I really, really like them. Good thing I did. My secret is not a secret. So she got into those jeans. I love doing that. Like when I get into a different size shirt, like a couple months ago, I tried on a jean jacket, for example. I took it off and put it back on because I thought I had the wrong jean jacket. Because I own like 4, but like 2 of them don't fit. So I put them on and put them off, took them off and put them back on. It was like a holy joke. So then I had to totally post about it, much like she's doing right here. That's going to get people's attention. So if you got an extra belt, a notch in your belt, post about it. If you said, oh my gosh, my jeans fit looser, talk about it. Connect to the heart. Okay, so we're talking about that. It always says ditch the message me in web link. I agree with that to some extent. The web link, I rarely ever post my web link. If I do, it's in the comments. If I'm in a super, super big hurry, there is an exception to that I do personally, but I personally don't like it in the comments either. Plus, we are one Plexus, and we all share each other's, posts and stuff like that. So I don't like to do it because what if somebody else gets my post and then they do it? However, it's no different than hashtags. I have certain hashtags that I use in my posts, and I am getting very good at them now because I target certain groups like weight loss or diabetes or, gym junkies. I target those people because I know that those are the type of people, work from home, single moms, whatever it may be. I target those and use hashtags. The same thing, I use those, but if anybody copies and pastes those, if they don't want those, they're going to have to delete them. But hashtags, let me just tell you, hashtags work because especially on Instagram, don't post on Instagram unless you're using hashtags after your little spiel, because hashtags, I've gotten so many likes and comments. I've gotten a couple people asking me about it, about Plexus, and I'm not I think sometimes I get too salesy on Instagram, but I'm doing a lot better job, let's say, than sometimes I'll just do a positive quote and I'll put, you know what, don't let anybody ever steal your dreams. And then my hashtag is Kimmy's Pink Journey and triple, triple, triple. And if anybody knows me, they're going to know what those hashtags mean. So that's my spill. Okay, so another one is Lori Harrison. She is a Diamond Ambassador. Phenomenal. She's a great person if you ever want to follow her. Marriage is not bliss. In fact, if someone tells you that, question their judgment. Sometimes marriage is toleration. But on days like today, when I've been out of town all week and my man is spending his Sunday outside working on a tedious cabinet project for my vintage remodel while I just chat his leg off, well, he's my best friend. And today, marriage is bliss. That is a personal post. But what's that going to do? That's going to say engagement. People that have husbands like that or spouses like that or even significant others, that's going to connect with them. So that's going to bring in engagement. And it's not salesy, because once you go to Lori's page, you're going to see, oh my gosh, she's a Plexus Ambassador. What's she got going on? So it's great. I just love it. Okay, smart and strategic posting. We talked about the times already, but one non-Plexus post every day. Now, at least one, I should say. I post more than one every day. I try to post like a non-Plexus post in the morning and maybe one in the afternoon. So I kind of do 2 to 3 non-Plexus posts. And it could be a non-Plexus post as like or dislike and have that Nike shoe. It could be a non-Plexus post about your family. Oh my gosh, look, we all went to the Six Flags today. Look at Sarah, she got so sunburned and stuff, because that can also engage other people, but it can also open the door to, if people say, oh my gosh, put some aloe vera on it or something like that. And then I can say, you know what, that's a great idea. Actually, I use this stuff called the body cream. It's got activated charcoal in it, and that just creates another open door. Not salesy. They're the ones that say put aloe vera on it. So a non-Plexus post, this is an example of a non-Plexus post. This is by Cody Hawkins. It's Jen Hawkins' husband. And it's really cute. So Pepper, if you're wondering who Pepper is, Pepper's his daughter, just so that you know. But it's personal. Oops, I went the wrong way. Sorry. One post, Plexus post every day. Make it personal. So this is a Plexus post. This is where I said make it personal. Take a picture with your pink drink. Take a picture of you making your shake. I'm constantly taking pictures of my shake. Share recipes of your P96 shakes. If you take them, share recipes. People love recipes. Non-Plexus post is a great way to share a recipe. Share a recipe about, non-Plexus post. My favorite non-Plexus post is if I know that I have a yummy dinner, I will get up and personal with my dinner and take a picture of it and make it look real, real yummy. And then I'll post it on Facebook and I'll say, this is what's for dinner. So, but it has engagement. I've had post stuff that people will say, Kim, oh my gosh, that looks so good, I had to go get it. That just gets that engagement. People are getting to your page and looking what you're about. So this is another example. We kind of talked about the Plexus energy. 3 miles down, now hit. Happy Monday, everyone. Want this kind of energy? And she's kind of opening that door a little bit. I love this one because people immediately see the word quitter and Plexus, because I guarantee you most people, because I did the same thing. When I looked at it, I was like, first of all, I saw quitter and Plexus. I'm like, why is this on this training? But if you read it, it talks another quitter due to Plexus. But when you first look at it, people are going to zone in because they're going to say, who quit Plexus? Guaranteed. So this is awesome. I love this post. So 2 times a week, add in a call to comment option. And what we mean by that is, here's that post again. So call to comment is much like what I was talking about, the Nike shoe, like or dislike, or I don't know. You can be creative. You can say, what's a favorite brand of a lawnmower that people like? And let people talk about their favorite lawnmower. Or where's a good restaurant to eat in the Dallas area? We're all going to Leaders Retreat. Ask that. So people can comment about great places to eat or things to see while you're on vacation. Awesome. 1 Plexus engaging post per week. Now, here's an example of Tell Me Tuesday. Tell me what about Plexus. Now, I would probably do something a little bit different, but this is a great example. Tell me Tuesday. Tell me what you love about Plexus. My engagement post is, who's had their pink drink today? Can I get a whoop whoop? And people, if you look on my page, there's all kinds of comments saying, whoop whoop. So it's a great engagement post. You can say, who loves the Fab Four? And people are going to say, oh, I love it. Well, Plexus people are going to know what the Fab Four is. But I promise you, if you do that more than once, people are going to be like, Kim, what's the Fab Four? Their curiosity is going to kill the cat. Because if you don't explain what the Fab Four is, somebody that is non-Plexus is going to ask you eventually, what is the Fab Four? And then you can tell them. So expand your audience. Build new relationships. You've got to reach out. Try to add 2 people a week. And I'm going to challenge you guys. 2 people a week is great, but I'm going to challenge you to add 1 new person a day. One new person a day. It's not that hard. If you are reaching out and, look for old high school friends, look for old college friends, look for old coworkers. Go and try to find them on Facebook, or think of people that you might be friends with that could be friends with them already, and go look at their friends list. Now, a lot of people, I know that sounds like Facebook stalking, and I do it. Sometimes I'll get in connection with my friends again. And I just recently got some new high school friends. But when I was looking through their high school friends, then I saw more friends. I'm like, oh, but you got to be careful. Don't try to reach out too much. That's the reason I say 1 a day, because if you do too many friend requests during the day, Facebook is on an algorithm, don't forget. It's going to think that you're a computer, and it's going to put you in Facebook jail, just so that you know. So nurture social media relationships. Follow up on friendship. Kind of like what we talked about at the beginning and stuff about be genuine and sincere. Hey, Leisha, just like I kind of did, if Leisha wasn't, my upline, she is a personal friend of mine. But, that was a great example. Right before the call, I'm like, well, is Avila available and Malia? Their birthday's tomorrow. So it's a great way to kind of interact. I have a really good friend from college. She's just not really active with Plexus. She just has her own life going on. And I know that, but I still get involved with her kids because her kids still mean a lot to me. And there's a lot of things that went on in college versus where she is right now, that it's just a blessing to see her kids grow up, even though we don't live to each other. So it's a great way. I follow up on our friendship. Hey, how you doing? Oh my gosh, Claire's getting so big. I saw Claire win the swim meet. How's she doing? Is she doing training? Engage in those posts and be genuine about it, because the more genuine you are, the more that you nurture that relationship, the more that they're going to trust you. And even though they might, this is what I have found, and it's been huge for me lately, is even though they might not get on Plexus, they might not try Plexus, they might not want to even hear about Plexus. But as soon as they're out and about with some of their other friends and somebody says, you know what, my head is just hurting nonstop all the time. Or, gosh, I just cannot get these last 15, 20 pounds off. That's going to trigger something. And the first person they're going to know that does Plexus and that they trust, they're going to refer and not even think twice about it. So that's just a thought process to kind of think about. So the daily strive for the following is being consistent, making sure that you're positive, get personal, tell your stories from your heart. I love stories. I have a brand new ambassador actually on one of my team, and she hasn't been ambassador but a couple weeks. She was a customer prior and upgraded to an ambassador, and I haven't even hardly done anything. She's been telling her story, and she tells that it's not about the weight loss. It's about how good she feels. I'm not kidding you, that I got goosebumps talking about it because it's amazing. It really touches my heart. And so she tagged me in it. So now it shows up on my page. And I have more people comment on that. Oh my gosh. And she posted that last week. She's still getting comments on, hey, what are you doing? Is it expensive? And she's doing a fantastic job. Hey, I'll PM you and I'll let you know. So she's engaging her audience. That's a great example. She's engaging her audience. She's expanding her audience because now that conversation is going on that post, now it's going out to their friends as well. And then one other thing I would like to recommend is make your if you have kids, I know that it's kind of tricky if you have kids, but on your Plexus post, and it's going to be time consuming if you don't make your Facebook public, but on your Plexus post, make them public, because I cannot tell you, the new ambassador that I was just telling you about, we have no mutual friends. We did not meet each other in the swap shop. She saw my post on another friend's post, and that's how she became, and she just started messaging me, and that's how she became my ambassador. That's the reason why it's so important, I think. So resources to follow up and tap into. I love this. In your back office, okay, guys, it seriously is the bomb. Let me just tell you. Our back office is expanding so much, and at convention, they announced that we are getting free self-development books free of charge in the back office that you can read. We have a Plexus Learning Center that is absolutely amazing. In your back office, under the multi-library, it's phenomenal. It's got so much information. You even have shareables back there, which you can share, and when they click on the picture, it automatically goes to your website. It's crazy. And it's under, I think, tools, and it'll say shareables. And you can go in there and just write your post, and then all of a sudden it goes directly, it'll click right on, it goes right to your Facebook page. I'm not sure if it can go to Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, but that's a great, I might have to answer my own question and check that out myself. But it's awesome. I'm telling you guys, use it. Another thing for people that don't know is plexuspowertools.com is a great resource center where you can get all kinds of nifty tools to use. It's $10 a year, but remember, it's a tax write-off. So that you can pay $10 and get all this, this tons of information. I'm horrible at that because I have access to it and I haven't used it because, one, I have a job, but really there's just no excuse. I always forget, to be quite honest. I forget. My Plexus Print, that's a great way where you can get business cards, sample cards. There's a link in your back office. There's many other places that you can get it, like on Etsy shops. There's all kinds of compliance approved places where you can get marketing material to hand out with your business cards, or little sample cards to put little Plexus pink drinks, on. Those are a great tool as well. YouTube channels to subscribe to. Let me just tell you, okay? Plexus Worldwide, of course. Plexus U is awesome. Amy Darling's great about product. Jennifer Pickett, Tamara Holloway. I myself, Tim and Michelle Thomas are awesome as well. And Jen Hawkins is really good. I love Sarah Marble and Sonia Dudley. I constantly share her stuff when it's talking about sharing the compensation plan. If people want even more information, now we just came out with a new compensation video. and it's awesome, and it's from corporate. I really like that. But if I want to get into even more detail, and more, instead of looking like a video that has been created, Sonia Dudley does a really good job in explaining how we get paid, and I love it, and it's awesome. Another one that I would suggest to follow is Lori Harrison. She's really, really awesome as well. She's just phenomenal. She is called the Fungus Queen. She does some great inspirational stuff. She's also very knowledgeable about a lot of the products, and she's so sincere and so sweet. And so those are some other recommendations. Okay. So let me I'm trying to get it large again. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Does anybody have any questions before I stop recording? No questions. So let me stop recording.